not Mary or Jim or Jake or Sam who's behind you to the right of you. That's you. Every single one of you. The blessed duty is talking about.
Bill Sears has been a very special person to us. He again is one of these hands of the cause that were very special souls, and we kind of feel like he's the one that's really encouraged us to do so many of the things that we do today.
We felt like we really had a special, close relationship with Bill Sears. And then we find out he makes everyone feel this way.
Yes.
You can achieve the impossible. It isn't something casual, it's there all the time for you. You just have to arise and believe that and start to transform yourself. And every day say to the blessed beauty, Baha'u'llah, help me today and send me to the right place. I'm going to change somebody's heart.
And it was so wonderful because we talked and, well, we listened a lot. And he said, you know, it's not enough. We're telling a few people at firesides here and there about Baha'i, but we've got to use the arts and the media to reach masses of people. So from that day on, we've dedicated our lives to using whatever talents we have to try to build this beautiful world and try to spread these wonderful teachings that are the medicine that this insane world needs at the moment to make it well.
1, 2, 3.
Well, I used to do a lot of things for the wonderful Baha'i Seals and Crofts.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine.
And they couldn't read music, but what wonderful, great musicians they were as far as playing, just natural. They'd give me a cassette of what they had recorded, and I have to listen to and write down what they'd done, and then I'd write for the strings or whatever we were going to add and go into the studio. The musicians come in and read it right off. And Jimmy Seal said, Russ, you've done more in 4 hours than we've done in 9 months. I used to be a ukulele player for Baha'i. On all the islands, it was handy when we were sailing through the islands, you know. Guitar took up a lot of room on a boat, so Gina bought a little baritone ukulele. She learned a couple of chords, but I seemed to be able to find the right chords for every song, so I got stuck with being the ukulele player.
I remember when Russ and Gina Garcia came to Samoa, sailing to Samoa on their yacht, and then they came to our island, and especially in my village in Savai. This is the biggest island of Samoa, and they were doing a meeting. They were gathering all of us young people and children to an evening of entertainment evening, and they were telling us a little bit about their belief about the Baha'i Faith, the teachings of the oneness of humanity, the oneness of religion, and the oneness of God. And then they sing some beautiful songs. They have melodious voices. Russell was strumming his ukulele and sang Toko Sani in Africa. And they actually taught us these songs.
And we found Baha'is on 2 different islands in the Galapagos. And we couldn't communicate too well with them because they spoke Spanish and we spoke English. But we had a wonderful rapport because we knew we were all working for the same beautiful goals, you know, to make this a beautiful world for the people of every religion, every race, every country.
We lived a lot in what they call lava-lavas or sulus, which I would put, you know, to cover your legs, because in a lot of the villages it was not considered dignified to see, you know, the legs of a woman. And, you know, in the Western world they would wear shorts and things like that. I might do that on the boat when we're out at sea, but never when we went ashore.
Before Gina and Russell came to Samoa, I was quite a confused young man, because I couldn't believe why there were so many churches in this small village of ours. Especially on Sunday, when people go to the church and the neighbors, they all go to different direction to go to all different churches. But when Gina and Russell came to Samoa, they taught us that there should be only one religion of God, and there should be one church in the village, and everyone should go to one particular church.
When we went into an island group, we'd always pick up a couple of local Baha'is. Like in Fiji, we picked up a couple of Fijians to travel around the other islands with us. And it was wonderful because we would go and anchor in a lagoon in a remote island, and they would go ashore, and the people would always say, "Are you working on that boat?" And they'd say, "No, we're guests." And people would hardly believe them. They'd even say, "Do you mean you sit down and eat at the same table?" Because
that's interesting.
they'd had been occupied by countries where that was frowned on, I guess. And so when we went ashore, we were welcome because they knew we had no real prejudice against the local people. And it's amazing. We found Baha'is in very remote places. I walked into a village here, and the children all started screaming, and they ran up and shouting to me. Some of them were trying to rub the white off my skin because
They'd never seen a white man.
One island in the outer Fiji group went to see this school teacher who was one of the few people that could speak English on the island. And we told him about Baha'i, and we left him a new era, and we thought we'd done nothing on that island. We left, and 6-8 months later, in Suva, this fellow went up and knocked on the door of the Baha'i Faith, and Irene or Victor Williams greeted him, and he said, "I'm a Baha'i." He had his new era. He became a Baha'i all by himself on a remote island. And he became one of the finest teachers in Fiji, teaching Baha'i. So you never know.